All right, let's talk about the word no. We're going to completely rewire how you hear it. Seriously. Forget thinking of objections as these big brick walls. We're about to look at them as, believe it or not, amazing chances to have a real conversation. And it's all backed by some really cool brain science.
You've heard this one a million times, right? It's just too expensive. It's that classic line that just kills a conversation dead. You can feel the whole vibe shift, and yeah, it kind of stings.
And then, of course, there's its close cousin. I need to think about it. It sounds a little nicer, right? A little softer. But let's be honest. It's usually just as much of a dead end. It's kind of like the polite version of a slammed door.
Or how about the ultimate conversation ender? We're actually really happy with our current solution. Man, that one just feels like the door's been bolted shut, right? Game over. But what if I told you that in all three of those situations, the door isn't closed at all? Not even a little bit.
What if these aren't rejections? What if they're not the end of the road? What if they're actually, well, invitations? Little signals from the brain that are asking for something very specific.
So this is the big idea. And it comes from the work of sales performance expert Collie. An objection isn't a no. It's a window. It's a clue, It's a peek behind the curtain into what's really going on in their head. And once you get that, oh man, it changes everything.
Okay, so if we're going to peer through that window, we need just a tiny bit of brain science. Don't worry, it's super simple. It really all comes down to this constant tug-of-war between two different parts of our brain.
So, on one side, you've got the amygdala. This is your fear center. Think of it like your brain's smoke detector or its ancient security guard. It's always on the lookout for risk, for danger, for anything that feels like a threat. Then on the other side, you've got the prefrontal cortex. This is your decision center, the CEO of your brain. It's the part that handles logic, reason, and smart choices. Now here's the key. An objection is what happens when that security guard, the amygdala, starts screaming so loud that the CEO can't even hear itself think.
All right, let's put this into practice. Let's see how it actually works. We're going to start with the big one, the one we all run into, money objections. And here's the most important thing to remember. It's almost never, ever about the price tag itself. It's about what that price tag is doing inside the brain.
And there it is, the classic. It sounds great, but your price is just too high. The second those words come out, you know exactly what's happening, right? That ancient alarm system, the amygdala, is going nuts. The red lights are flashing like crazy.
So here's the wild part, the actual science behind it. Our brains literally process a high price the same way they process physical pain. It feels like a loss. So your job isn't to defend your price. No way. Your job is to calm down that fear center by waking up the logic center. And how do you do that? By connecting the cost directly to the reward. You make the value crystal clear.
So instead of getting defensive, you get curious, you get collaborative. Look at that first response. It's not about price, it's about return. You're shifting their brain from pain to gain. And the second one? It immediately turns you into a partner, someone who's there to help them figure it out. Both of these are designed to do one thing: talk to the logical brain, the CEO, and tell that screaming security guard to take a break.
Okay, here's another classic you've probably heard. This one's a little different. It's not about your price being too high. It's about the feeling of being boxed in. It's that my hands are tied feeling of scarcity.
And what does that feeling do? You guessed it. It triggers that exact same fear response. The amygdala just freaks out because resources feel scarce. So the secret here is to give the brain some breathing room. You have to restore a sense of control, a sense of options. The moment their brain sees a way forward, even a small one, that panic starts to fade.
And these responses are perfect for that. Look at the first one. It totally respects their situation, but it keeps the ball rolling. It's about planning for the future. And the second one? It offers a small, easy first step, a pilot program. It's a less scary, less threatening way in. It gives their brain a low-risk yes that it can actually say.
All right, let's switch gears a bit. We're going to move on from money to those objections that are all about doubt and delay and hesitation. Those times when things just seem to stall. And again, you have to remember, it's not what they're saying, it's what their brain is feeling. The old, I need to think it over. We hear this and immediately think, okay, they're not interested. But the brain science tells a totally different story. Something else is going on under the surface.
It turns out, I need to think about it is often just code for I feel overwhelmed and I don't know what to do next. Their brain isn't asking for time, it's asking for clarity. It's literally craving a simple, logical, step-by-step way to think through this without feeling so anxious. So, what do? You give it that structure. The first question helps them zero in on what's actually making them hesitate. And the second one? You're giving them a tool, a simple summary that makes it easy for their logical brain to take over. See the difference? You're not pushing for a decision. You're just helping them think.
Okay, now for the big one. The one that makes it feel like you've completely lost control. I'll need to get my boss's approval. But let's pause. What is the brain really worried about in this moment?
It all comes down to one thing: social safety. Their brain is trying to avoid a huge risk, the risk of looking dumb in front of their boss, of making a bad call and getting blamed for it. They're not just passing the buck. They're trying to protect their job, their reputation. So what's your job? To become their secret weapon, their ally.
And these questions are exactly how you do that. They instantly change the dynamic. You're no longer a salesperson pushing something, you're a strategic partner helping them win. You are literally helping them prepare so they can look smart and capable to their boss. That builds massive trust, and it keeps the whole thing moving forward.
Okay, so when you really boil it all down, this entire way of thinking can be summed up in 3 simple but incredibly powerful mindsets. Seriously, think of this as your new superpower for handling pretty much any tough conversation.
First up, stay calm. When you hear that objection, take a breath. Don't let your own fear center take over. Just remember, it's a signal, not a stop sign. Number 2, stay curious. Get genuinely interested. Ask questions. What's the real issue hiding behind their words? And finally, number 3, stay credible. Your goal is to be a helpful, trusted expert who solves problems, not just someone trying to get a signature.
It kind of changes how you see everything, doesn't it? Suddenly, objections aren't roadblocks, they're opportunities. Opportunities to connect, to understand, and to actually help. So I'll leave you with this question. Now that you know a little bit about the science, what's one conversation you're going to have this week that you'll handle completely differently?